Nobody understands you. At least, that is what it feels like. You can be surrounded by people who love you, people who text you, invite you out, tell you they know you better than anyone, and still feel strangely alone. Because maybe they know a version of you, the calm version, the helpful version, the funny version, the version that knows what everyone else needs, but maybe not the whole version. And here is the uncomfortable part. What if people are not completely failing to understand you? What if you have become so good at adapting to other people that they rarely get the chance? Nobody understands you, and you helped create that. Not because you meant to, not because something is wrong with you, but because you may have learned a pattern so well, you stopped noticing you were doing it. So here is today's Wysometric question. If nobody seems to know the real you, which version of you have you been introducing? Some people walk into a room and think, what do I want? You may walk into the same room and immediately notice who looks uncomfortable, who seems angry. Did the mood just change? Did I say something wrong? What can I do to make this easier? You read the room before you read yourself, and that can be a gift. You notice things other people miss, but every strength can cast a shadow. Think about the automatic brightness on your phone. Walk outside, the screen gets brighter. Enter a dark room, it adjusts again. The screen keeps changing depending on its environment. Useful for a phone, exhausting for a person. At work, you become professional. With your family, responsible. With your friends, easygoing. With your partner, understanding. You keep adjusting until someone asks, what do you want? And suddenly, the answer is harder than it should be. Nobody wakes up and decides, today I'm going to hide who I am. It happens in tiny moments. Someone asks where you want to eat. You have a preference, but you say, I'm good with whatever. Someone makes a joke that bothers you. You smile anyway. You disagree with something, but you can already imagine the tension, so you soften your opinion until it barely sounds like yours. Someone asks for help. You are already exhausted. You say yes. Someone hurts you. Instead of saying it, you start explaining their behavior to yourself. They probably didn't mean it. They're stressed. It's not a big deal. Each moment seems harmless, but repeat those moments for years, and you teach people something. You teach them what you like, what you tolerate, what you need, and sometimes you teach them incorrectly. Imagine one conversation. Someone you care about says something that hurts you. For a second, your face changes. Then you edit it. I'm fine. The conversation continues. They dismiss something important to you. You feel angry. You edit that too. It's okay. Later they ask if you need help. You do, but you do not want to be difficult. I've got it. 3 moments, 3 edits, and from their perspective, everything seems fine. That is the strange part. You can become frustrated that someone does not notice what you have become extremely skilled at hiding. Then eventually the frustration becomes, why don't they understand me? Sometimes they should have listened better. Absolutely. Sometimes people ignore things that should have been obvious. But sometimes they are simply responding to the version you gave them. Imagine going to a restaurant. The waiter asks, what would you like? You say, whatever you recommend. They bring you a burger. You hate burgers. Then you sit there thinking, how could they not know what I wanted? It sounds ridiculous, but emotionally, we do versions of this all the time. We want people to recognize needs we never expressed, respect boundaries we never stated, notice pain we carefully disguised, and when they do not, we use their failure to read our mind as evidence that they do not understand us. Here is the reframe. Being understood is not only about finding better people. Sometimes, it is about becoming more visible. And visibility does not mean telling everyone everything. Privacy says, this part of me is personal. I choose who gets access. Hiding says, if they see this part of me, something bad might happen. Those are not the same thing. This pattern can appear strongly in people who identify with the INFJ personality type. But personality types are lenses, not diagnoses, not cages. 4 letters cannot explain a human being. Still, this lens can reveal something useful. People who identify with INFJ are often described as highly aware of patterns, emotions, meaning, and what is happening underneath the surface. You hear the change in someone's voice. You notice when the energy in a room shifts. You hear someone say, "I'm fine," and somehow know they are not fine. That sensitivity can make you very good at understanding others, but there is a trap. You can become excellent at reading people, while giving them almost nothing to read. You understand their silence, then expect them to understand yours. You notice their hints, then expect them to notice yours. You spend so much time reading between the lines, you forget that some people need the actual line. They need words, not hints, not silence, not a shorter text they are supposed to decode. Words. Because healthy relationships cannot live entirely between the lines. Now imagine the Wysometric cylinder. One person stands above it. They see a circle. Another person stands beside it. They see a rectangle. They could argue for hours. It's a circle. No, it's a rectangle. And strangely, both are telling the truth. Neither person is stupid. Neither person is lying. They are simply looking at the same object from different positions. What they see is real, but what they see is incomplete. Now replace the cylinder with you. Your coworker sees the reliable version. Your friend sees the funny version. Your family sees the responsible version. Your partner sees the caring version. And maybe someone else sees the quiet version. None of those versions are fake. They are all you, but none of them alone is all of you. Each person sees a projection, a different angle of the same human being. And then you stand in the middle wondering, why can't anybody see all of me? But think about the cylinder again. The person looking at the circle is not wrong. They simply cannot see the rectangle from where they are standing. And maybe people experience us the same way. They cannot build a complete picture from an angle we never allow them to leave. So maybe the goal is not, everyone needs to completely understand me. That is impossible. Maybe the better goal is, the right people need enough honest information to know me accurately. Not perfectly, not completely, accurately. That is possible. So let's go back to those small moments, same situations, different choice. Someone asks where you want to eat. This time, choose. I actually feel like Thai food tonight. That is it, 10% more visible. Someone makes a joke that bothers you. Instead of smiling automatically, hey, I know you're joking, but that actually bothered me. 10%. You disagree with someone. Instead of erasing your opinion, I actually see that differently. You do not need a fight. You just need to remain in the conversation. Someone asks for help, but you are already exhausted. Instead of another automatic yes, I can't do that tonight. No courtroom defense. No 10-minute explanation proving you are still a good person. And when someone hurts you, before you spend 20 minutes explaining their behavior to yourself, try saying, "That hurt me." Same person, same world, different choice. That is what becoming visible looks like. Not exposing everything, not becoming selfish, not suddenly telling everyone your deepest secrets, just editing yourself a little less. And here is your homework. Write down 3 people. Under each name, answer, what version of me do they usually see? Then, what important part of me do I keep editing out? Do not fix it yet, just notice it. There is something painful about feeling unseen, but there is something hopeful about realizing being seen is partly a skill. You cannot force everyone to understand you, and not everyone deserves access to every part of you, but you can stop saying, whatever you want. when you actually have a preference. You can stop saying, "I'm fine," when something needs to be said. You can let the people who matter see more than one projection. So the next time you think, "Nobody understands me," do not dismiss the feeling. Maybe they do not. But ask one more question. Have I actually shown them enough to understand? Because sometimes people are not rejecting the real you. They simply have not met enough of you yet. And maybe you do not need to become a completely different person. Maybe you only need to become 10% more visible. Because sometimes the problem does not change, only the angle does.